Normus.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling.
Oh, pinch your nips,
Welcome
bitches.
to the
Daddy's
Daily
home.
Swole.
Daddy's coming to lay some pipe. Testing. 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 Come on. Testing, testicles. Testicles. Oh, welcome everyone to episode 1229 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beercast, broadcast, gangcast, mancast, pimpcast, sleevescast, and slaycast in the realm. Because we're not flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and ye ol' hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swole. Oh, what's up? Good. What's up, good beaches? What's up, fam? How you doing? Welcome to episode 1229. It's your boy. We got some good stories today, and we got some good nips. We got some good tits. We got some good taint. We got some good nuts on yo chin on the main channel. If you haven't checked out today's NOC, go to Swolenormous, go to the main channel, and make sure you get that knock. Get that good knock. Get that good juice. Come on. Don't miss out on that NOC, beesh. You know you want it. You know you want it. You know you want it. Oh. Today is a little bit of arm day action. I did a little bit of legs yesterday. I was going, but I didn't hydrate properly. Look, I'm telling you. Let me just do a little standard hair flip. I'm telling you, fam. I am telling you that I am not perfect either. So the reason why I tell you to hydrate like a motherfucker is because if you don't hydrate, you are going to fuck your shit up. And I do it sometimes myself. I drank coffee. I didn't drink enough water, and I kind of knew it in the back of my head. I got to warming up, and I just felt a little bit dry. So I started to feel towards like the middle part of my workout. I wasn't doing a long workout. I was doing kind of like a little short one because we're going out to dinner. I posted my story, went to get some crab legs and some raw oysters and stuff like that. So little date night action. But I started feeling like a little bit crampy, like, oh shit, let me tie off this workout. Let me cut this fucking shit short. So I did like a light leg workout, really short volume. So I'll do it again this week anyway. So, catch myself. Catch it before it bites you in the ass, So make sure you hydrate, drink a lot of water. And today, I'm not going to have that issue, my people. I will not have that issue. I will not be a little bit dehydrated. I will be fucking hydrated as fuck. So we'll do a water break in a little bit, but coffee for now. Let me hydrated as shit. Super fucking hydrated. What we got here? I was looking for you within the last 10 minutes. Transcription, $2.50 per minute. What are you guys talking about? Oh, you got a new job, you mean? Or someone saying something? New job for Jude? Oh, you guys are like having your whole conversation here. All right, you're not even talking to me. Fine. I'll just do my thing and you guys can do whatever you do. All right, I'll just pretend like I'm not even here. Go on with your bad self. I will take a question. You caught me in the right moment. I really don't take questions before I roll. But Sierra, what's your recommendation for measuring progress? You can do pictures, you could do measurements, you can do a scale. Use all of them. Use everything at your resource, but make sure you're doing it accurately. Because if you don't measure in the right place, if you don't do body fat measurements properly, which is really hard with calipers, you need a professional that really knows what they're doing with quality equipment. They're just ballpark ideas. I would just look in the mirror and fucking keep on crushing. Thomas, hey man, my counselor was bringing up health at every size. Should I ditch her? She was bringing it up. I bring it up too. You don't ditch me. What do you mean? What context? I think that's fucking pussy talk if you ask me, but that's up to you. Your counselor? What kind of counselor? What are you counseling? You don't have to tell me. That's private, but nutrition counselor or anything? Come on. You're in church right now. You're in the church of sick fucking gains. You're exactly where you need to be. You fucking counselor. This is your counselor. I'm your counselor. I'm your preacher. I'm your savior. I'm the savior of your sick fucking gains. All right. Okay. Let's get back to business here. So I got some new juice today for some diet talk. Now this is trending. This was posted today on Healthline. The tuna diet. Have you ever heard of the tuna diet? You probably know of the tuna diet, and everyone's like, oh, I know the tuna diet's because I'm fucking broke and I don't have any money. So tuna's cheap, but tuna has high levels of mercury and it's just fucking gross. It tastes like shit. I know a lot of you like, oh, I love tuna. You like tuna with mayo, with fucking shit all over it. You don't like tuna plain. Tuna plain is gross. I'm not talking about a tuna steak. I'm talking about canned tuna. It's fucking gross. You know it's gross. Stop pretending. It's just the kind of shit we get used to because, a lot of people don't have a lot of money to spend on food, especially going through high school and college. But have not had tuna since college. I avoid that shit because it's not a quality food. It's not a quality food. It's not a clean food. It's just something you should not be dipping into. I really do not recommend going after tuna. I recommend you avoid tuna fish. All right. And this is from my personal experience, and I just don't consume it. I will not consume tuna unless there's a fucking hurricane and it's emergency food. But I would recommend sardines or something like that. Anyway, so tuna diet. If I'm talking about not consuming tuna and not being a good idea, you can imagine my thoughts on the tuna diet. So this is written by Ashley Sobel, RD. Ooh, registered dietitian. Super excited. Let's read this article. It's on Healthline. Quote, is the tuna diet safe and does it aid in weight loss? And to be honest, to be fair to her, I was just kind of giving her shit. I'm just talking trash right now. The Healthline diet, this is from healthline.com, and they gave it a 1.5 out of 5. So kudos to them for treating this diet as it should be fucking complete garbage. And this is nonsense, but I think a lot of people, this is the kind of stuff that trends. This is the type of stuff that trends. This is the type of stuff that gets momentum. And people don't look at this as like a 1.5 out of 5. They see, ooh, tuna diet. And then people on YouTube are going to start doing tuna diet. I did the tuna diet for 7 days. Here's what I found. I did this for 3 days. And people are just going to jump into it. Oh, tuna diet. I could do that. I know they didn't rate it well, but if you can lose weight on it, let me do it. Before we get into what it actually is and what they say about the tuna diet and what it actually is, like the actual structure, the reason why you're going to lose weight, and you can lose weight on a tuna diet, why? If you're eating tuna and water, can you? Of course you can lose. When you stop eating food, you're going to lose weight. Okay. Concentration camps in World War II, people lost a lot of weight. Ha ha ha. Too soon? It's true. You don't eat food, you're going to lose fucking weight. Keto, you lose weight on keto because you are cutting out carbs and you lose water. So you're cutting out major sources of calories, dense calories, because carbohydrates provide a lot of energy for your body. And it's very easy to eat hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of calories via carbohydrates. Plus, when you cut out carbs, your body flushes out water. So going keto, shocker, people lose 10 to 20 pounds in the first couple of weeks. Wow, keto is great. I lost all this weight. You eat a fucking potato, it's going to come back. So it's just a misconception. It's a misconception. And that's why people plateau fucking hard on keto, because your body only has so much water to lose. So tuna fish, obviously, if you're only eating tuna fish, you're going to be losing a lot of water weight. Okay. Not to mention, one of the things that people don't talk enough about, we talk about it, repetition in the diet. You definitely want to have your nutrients. You definitely want to eat some range of foods. But at the same time, the more consistent you are with your nutrition, the less likely you are to overeat. Okay. The more consistent you are with your nutrition, the less likely you are to overeat, because when you have repetition, when you're eating similar foods on a regular basis, your body is going to become desensitized or kind of like numb to all these like flavor spikes. You're not going to have the same types of cravings. You're not going to overeat these foods that you're treating as fuel. If you treat your food as fuel, it can still taste delicious. It can still be super nutritious. But if you're treating your food as fuel and you eat on a regular basis certain foods, you're going to essentially get, I guess your taste buds are going to get bored. You're not going to want to eat an extra sweet potato. You're going to be like, I'm done with my sweet potato. I'm fucking done. And a lot of you know this. You're going to finish your food and be like, good, I'm fucking done with my food. Now I can get on. Finally, I ate the last bite, and you're fucking done. You're done. And this is the way I am a lot of times. You eat your food that you need to eat, and you're so glad that you're fucking done eating, then you move on with your day and you're able to go train, you're able to go to sleep, you're able to go shower, go do your work or do something. Repetition and consistency with your nutrition will lead to less overeating with those foods and with those calories, which is why if you're consistent with your nutrition, you're less likely to overeat. You're less likely to need to count calories because of your regularity, of your consistency. So, and then of course, if you combine that with eating the right foods, you're going to have less cravings and so forth. So let me bring up the article so we can rip this along with Healthline, because they didn't promote it. They said give it 1.5 out of 5. Is the tuna diet safe? And does it aid weight loss? So let's read through this a little bit. Quote, the tuna diet is a short-term eating pattern in which you mainly eat tuna and water. Holy fucking gross. This is like a classic thing that you've heard before. Tuna and water. I got to lose some weight for the wedding. I'm going on vacation. Tuna and water. People have been doing this kind of shit for decades. While it causes rapid weight loss, like we've talked about, water loss and stuff, it's very restrictive and has several extreme downsides. Yeah, like eating tuna. This article tells you everything you need to know about the tuna diet. So we're not going to go through all of it. We're going to scroll through. And they give them their own ratings, but we can, we can judge it for itself. They say, bottom line, the tuna diet promotes rapid weight loss at the expense of nutrient deficiencies, potential mercury poisoning, and severe calorie restriction. So, of course, you're going to lose a ton of water. You're extremely restricted your calories, which is why you're losing weight. And you're only getting certain nutrients, or you're missing other ones, and you're just pounding mercury. So, good shit. So when I talk about decades, check this out. Dave Draper was a classic golden age bodybuilder. He used to train with Arnold back in the day. He's old fucking school. And I believe he's still around. I don't know if he passed away, but this is old school, like 60s type shit. You're meant to primarily consume water and tuna for 3 days. Then you can add low-fat dairy products, fruit, poultry, and vegetables for an unspecified period. During this phase, your macronutrients should be 40-30-30, which is the classic generic, which is really, honestly, 40% protein. That's really high for protein. My preference and my suggestion is more fat, less carbs, and a little bit lower protein. That's me personally. I don't like 40% protein. That's a lot of protein. Anyway, although promoted as a way to break bad dietary habits, it's a crash diet that isn't supported by research. No, it's supported by common sense. It's not a good idea. Let's move on. How to follow the diet. The tuna must be plain. You ready for this, fam? Tuna is garbage already. Now, let's make it even better. Let's make it plain. Let's make it plain. A lot of you are like, well, I like tuna. You like tuna with mayonnaise on it. Tuna must be plain without oil, mayonnaise, vinegar, or spices. And enough to give you 1.5 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Yo, that is so much fucking protein. 1.5 grams. Now, when we discuss when I get asked questions, hey, Papa Swole, how much protein do I need per pound of body weight? That's not the right question, because if you're 500 pounds and you're 300 pounds overweight, you don't go by your fat. Your fat is stored energy. That's not metabolism. There's nothing there that is, providing your body or that needs to be maintained with calories. That's the storage of calories. So you want to go by your lean mass, your lean body mass. So if you weigh 300 pounds, what percentage of that 300 pounds is skeletal tissue, is skeletal muscle tissue, is organs, is the lean, not the fat. Everything, all the fat gone, your lean mass. That's what you want to gauge your protein intake on. So this whole 1 gram per pound of body weight is bullshit, because you're not eating to support your fat. You're eating way too much protein. This is why people have kidney stones. This is why people have all these fucking metabolic stress issues and overeat. Because if you're eating these percentages and you're eating that much protein, think of that. That's a lot of calories. This brings people to overeating when they don't need to. You're supposed to also drink 2 liters of water daily. That doesn't sound like a lot. That's not a lot of water. Down a serving of Metamucil each night for fiber. This is disgusting. And take vitamin, mineral, and branched chain amino acid supplements, which we all know the effectiveness of BCAAs or lack thereof. After 3 days, you can add leafy green vegetables. Oh, thank you so much. Steamed, non-starchy vegetables, fruit, blah, blah, blah. Although there's no set duration, you're likely meant to follow it until you reach your target weight and repeat it from time to time for rapid weight loss. Gross. Other versions of the diet. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, I think, does it aid in weight loss? Of course it fucking aids in weight. All right, we get this, all right? I think we gather. It's the tuna diet. It's gross. You eat tuna for fucking X amount of time. You're going to lose weight. You're cutting major calories out. You're cutting carbs out. You're losing water. You're in a deficit. And it's just gross. It's gross. There's much more risk than reward. That's why I got a 1.5 out of 5. I would have given it a 0 out of 5, or at least a 1. If a 1 is the minimum, I'm surprised I gave it a 0.5, because I guess it does work. It will give you weight loss, but so does not eating tuna fish. You can do extreme caloric restriction and lose some weight. It's just not healthy because remember, it's not just the calorie quantity, it's also the nutrients. If you're eating empty and devoid foods and you're getting 1,500 calories a day, that's not good. You want to be eating quality food. So you need to eat enough volume of those foods to get enough vitamins and minerals that you require rather than it's not just a numbers game. Okay. You can lose weight while eating junk food. It doesn't mean that it's healthy. It's a terrible fucking idea. You don't want to be eating fast food to lose weight. That's a bullshit clickbait tactic to be like, wow, if I eat less calories, you lose weight. Yeah, no shit. So does starvation. It fucking works because you're not eating food. Your body has to eat itself. You still don't want to eat garbage fucking food. Don't put that shit in your body, whether to lose weight or to gain weight. Okay? Not recommended. The other story that we got is from Airlines. It's from India. Why is this not moving? Hold on. There we go. This is from Air India. Now, this is like kind of two combined stories. This is one from 2015 and one from recently. This is one from yesterday or today. What's the date today? 16th. So this was posted yesterday on Yahoo Lifestyle. And this is kind of an interesting little play because we live in the United States, or most of us. Actually, where are you watching from? Drop that in the comments below. But most of you probably watching or listening are at least you're kind of plugged into what's going on in the United States. You're plugged into my podcast. You know what I'm reporting on and what's really trending. And a lot of this social media stuff is focused mostly on what goes on in the United States because of social media and just Hollywood. And it's kind of like the center point of culture for most of the world. From a social media and like entertainment standpoint, I'm not saying from just culture, period. So we got a lot of people from the UK and stuff like that. So UK, you're kind of, you know what's going on in the United States and kind of like vice versa. So we're very similar. But if you're in like China or something, it's going to be like, well, it depends on how plugged in you are. But Air India, it's funny because we just I had a video that I posted on my other channel today, on Swolenormous channel, about Nuts on Chin, about the fat shaming, about the whole Bill Maher, James Corden, and fucking what else? Piers Morgan. Like this whole, how fat shaming it's not an issue. I really don't think it's the right issue. I know people think it's an issue. I know people debate it, but it's really a non-issue. It's not the main focus. It shouldn't be the argument. It doesn't really matter. You're not going to win one way or the other. Some people feel fat shamed. Other people don't think there's fat shame. Other people think they need it. That's not the fucking issue. The issue is, what are we doing about the problem? And then the fat shaming issue will solve itself. So when it comes to this going down in India for the Air India, imagine if we did this on an American airline. Imagine if we did this not on American Airlines, but imagine if we did this in an American, like on just like a American or United States based airlines. Or if this was if this was American Airlines or Delta or something that's American based. I think Delta is. Who the fuck knows? Whatever. You get what I'm saying. So this is Air India introduces low-fat cabin crew diet. So if this was in the United States, it'd be like fat shaming. Like, you're telling the crew how they should eat. This is not good. We should be able to do whatever we want. People would be bitching and fucking moaning about it. And I don't agree with a low-fat diet. I think it's a terrible fucking idea. I don't think that's the way you should be eating. However, at least they're implementing something so people don't get fucking obese. Anytime a company or anytime an organization encourages health or certain health protocols, it's better it should be, if it's actually a proper health approach for their employees, it's going to reduce sick times, going to increase productivity, happiness, mental health. It should be like, it has a good intention, and it's going to have a good side effect. So let's read through this a little bit. Air India is putting its cabin crew on a low-fat diet. Again, I don't agree with that, but it is what it is. In a memo to staff on Sunday, the airline announced that, quote, an initiative has been taken by the director of operations to revise the in-flight food menu for the crew members. Now, this is for the members. This is for employees, not for the passengers. That'd be nice, right? The, quote, special low-fat diet meal was devised to provide light and healthy meal with a home Indian touch. Sample meals include a mushroom egg white omelet, vegetarian oats and beans chili, or a savory pancake chilla. I don't know. This is Indian food, so I apologize I'm not insulting your culture. I'm just reading fast. All dishes are low on cholesterol and fat, so it sounds like a kind of vegan vegetarian diet. Again, I don't really agree with that, but it is what it is. While encouraging healthy eating might not seem particularly newsworthy, the airline has a long history of cabin crew weight concern, which may call into question the intentions behind this new measure. In 2015, the airline made international headlines when it permanently grounded 130 of its cabin crew for being overweight. Most of those grounded and put on a diet and exercise plan were women. Imagine doing this in the United States. I think that's a good thing. However, a lot of people here would be like outraged. They would boycott the fucking airline. You don't even hear about this. Did you hear about this in 2015? Fuck no, you didn't. Because no one was bitching and moaning about this on social media yet. This would be absolutely an outrage in the United States. Imagine if that happened. Okay. The maximum weight allowed for a woman of 5'3" was 140 pounds, which is reasonable. That's reasonable. At the time, the airline defended the action, calling it a safety concern. The U.S. lifted its weight requirement rules for flight attendants in 1994 due to a lawsuit. So people were bitching about this 20 years ago. I should be able to be fat. Well, you can't fit down the fucking aisles, and you're heavier weight for the plane to carry. Anyway, I'm not fat shaming. Don't be mad. Just a joke. Air India's concerns over over cabin crew bodies date back to at least the 1980s when the airline circulated height and weight charts to employees. In the early 2000s, the airline said it would not consider flight attendant candidates who had acne or bad teeth. I mean, these are private companies. So honestly, if you have a private company, you can definitely gauge who you want to join or sign up. But whatever. In 2015, they made morning yoga a requirement for all training pilots and cabin crew. This is cool. As we believe that yoga brings a sense of discipline as well as help cope better with the stress of the job. I like that a lot. I think that's great. The rest of it, that's up to you. And, obviously this airline sounds like it has a history of controversial decisions or controversial addendums or measurements. The acne, bad teeth, weight requirements. Look, I mean, here's the thing when it comes to like weight requirements, everyone distributes weight differently. One person might be 140 or 150 and look obese, and the other person might distribute it better on their body. So it's kind of hard to go by just judging someone by weight, period. What if that woman has, it lifts weights? What if she has more muscle? So that's one of the problems with how much should I weigh? Well, if you're losing weight, but you're also lifting weights, you're not just going to lose 40, 50 fucking pounds. Maybe you lose 25 or 30 pounds of fat, but then you're building muscle. So absolute weight isn't a good gauge of what someone looks like. You can't just go by the pounds. You have to go by the composition. But I do think, like, for example, for that job, it's a risk. What if someone's obese? That means when they're flying high at high altitudes, that's more of a health risk. What if they have a heart attack? What if they're short of breath? What if they can't breathe for whatever reason? What if they can't fit down the aisles and they get stuck? Like, what if there's an emergency and they can't move fast enough to help passengers? That's literally like an insurance risk. That's a health risk, and it's a safety risk, not just for the attendant, but for the passengers as well. So it's extremely important that people are fit at their job, especially in those where a lot of people's lives are at risk. Because let's say there's a problem on the runway and there's a fire on the plane and you need to get people out, but you're obese and you can't fit, you can't help people, you're not strong, you're like, the people are going to die because of someone being obese. So in those situations, it's not just a personal risk, it's a public risk. It's a safety of all the passengers on board. So there's other elements of that if you think about it. I don't believe in the low fat, but that's personal, and that's probably personal for the individual in terms of like genetic and stuff like that, like what you're doing or what your body reacts best to and what your body is predisposed to, and blah, 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 gut biome, all that stuff that no one except like some scientists really know, but we just kind of use those buzzwords. But it's true. Everyone reacts differently. Some people can metabolize fats better. They like a higher fat diet. Some people don't. But, health is kind of relative. It depends on where you're coming from. It depends on what your body has been exposed to over the course of your life and what you're used to and what you prefer and what you have access to and what's easy for you to stick to. And all those factors can play into what nutrition profile is best for you. So just to say that everyone should do this or everyone should do that, it's really short-sighted. It's not really the best approach. And that's why a lot of people don't get results, because they of course, they don't understand or they don't customize their own shit. They don't do an elimination diet. They don't realize that they can customize their nutrition more. They just want to follow some predisposed or preordained plan that doesn't really give them that flexibility. It doesn't really give them that kind of customize ability. You have the ability to customize your shit. So, without further ado, let's get this fucking day started because I do want to get a pump on after this. Let's get a little water break going. Let's jam out, shall we? Here we go. Everyone chug it up. Here we go. Oh. Very good. That was nice. That was a good one. Okay. That was good shit. Yeah, don't forget to hit the like button. Smash it. Smash the like button. Smash that shit. Smash that shit. But we were talking about tuna, Anthony. We're done talking about tuna now. We were talking about tuna, but we stopped. There was this, I don't know why the tuna diet was up in the news. I don't know why it showed up, but it did. Fucking disgusting. I haven't had tuna since, I don't remember the last time I ate tuna like regularly. It was college probably. I'm trying to think I do remember actually. Let me give you some perspective on this because I do have a lot of experience with tuna, as most people that grew up like in the late 90s, early 2000s when you were like starting to lift. That's when I started to lift. I was doing the tuna thing. I was doing like Arnold like whole grain bread. I was dipping in water. I was eating 2 cans of tuna plain. It was disgusting. It fucking works. It works because it is protein. It works because it is carbs. But man, I was more like, looking back, I was kind of bloated and it wasn't good. It's disgusting. It's not healthy. And of course, 20 years ago, tuna was better than it is now because the way mercury builds up in the oceans are a lot more fucking trashed. Farming has gotten worse. It's just, things have gotten progressively worse in terms of the quality. Maybe the cans don't have BPA in them anymore, but the fish aren't getting higher quality. So it's really not. I generally stay away from seafood. I generally stay more away from seafood just because of the quality disparity is so much greater. It's so much better when you get like high quality beef products rather than, it's hard to get good fish. It's hard to get good fish. The oceans are just fucking trashed. So, it's unfortunate, but you can always look this up and Google it because there are third-party companies that do test these things. Like they'll take a sample of tuna or they'll take a sample of cod or whatever the fuck it is, and they'll do these like heavy metal tests like every year, and they'll list which ones are the best and which ones are doing better this year in 2019 or 18 versus 2017. So you can look it up. Yeah, most salmon is farmed. Most salmon is just colored. They actually color the salmon because it's gray, and farmed salmon doesn't have any vibrancy. So they add coloring to make it look orange. Like, it's pretty gross. It's pretty gross when you actually look into it. So do some research, look it up a little bit, and make sure you're getting actual quality fish if you can find it. So, look, a lot of people do a lot of stupid things. Kids do stupid things. Younger people do stupid things. And also, as we learn more as a society, and as the internet has grown, and as information is able to be accessed more and more readily, it's more readily available, the more information we have, the better decisions we can make. And it's okay to do something, realize, oh shit, that's not the best idea, and not do it anymore. So like I've been talking about with Sour Patch Kids or with tuna, I'm not saying I never did anything. I'm not saying I never had protein shakes. Gross. I don't do it anymore. And I don't recommend people do it because I feel fucking fantastic and I'm not taking that kind of shit. So I'll tell you if I change things. I'll tell you if I change my mind. But, no, it's not. Salmon is farmed on the East Coast, but not Alaska and Pacific Northwest. Yeah, but you also have Fukushima and you have nuclear fucking waste pouring into the Pacific. So you got a lot of problems everywhere. So I'm not saying it's not great up in Alaska, but you can roll the dice if you want to. It's all good. I like sushi too. Look, you have to, unless you're doing it yourself, unless you're going out and grabbing it yourself and doing it, you have to take some kind of you have to kind of block it out a little bit. if that makes sense. You have to kind of, all right, you can take little supplements. There are things like charcoal and stuff like that, where you can, don't eat fucking charcoal from your grill. You can Google it if you want to know what I'm talking about. That absorbs certain like impurities in your body and stuff like that. The actual research on it, there's all these different things that you can do, or supplements that come out, or trust that we have to have. Unless you're doing it yourself, unless you're hunting your food, you don't know exactly. Unless you go to the farm, unless you really are doing it yourself, you don't know 100%, do you? Oh, it's 100% grass-fed beef. Look, it's like, okay. What does that really mean? What are they legally allowed to say? What are they supposed to say? What can they say? What can they? So, I mean, I'm just letting you know it's silly and naive to be like, oh, this is exactly what it says it is. People are the people that own these companies, they're still humans. Humans fucking lie all the time. They lie all the time. And I'm not saying that the company that you choose, I'm not saying the company that I've chosen, I'm not saying that whatever you eat, whatever you do isn't being authentic and isn't doing everything that they can. But when you also supply to thousands or millions of people, you have the quality and the quantity disparity, and you also have just the volume period. Things can happen. Things can get contaminated without knowing. You might have 1,000 cans of tuna that have some kind of contamination, but the other 900 million are fine. And that's why we had these little outbreaks of this, and oh, this wasn't tested properly, or something must have slipped in here, or someone got paid off. Who knows? Just saying that there's a lot of variability. So unless you do it yourself and you get it yourself, you don't know. That's why when you have a garden, you know where your lettuce came from. It came from your backyard. But if you go to the store, you get your lettuce, who the fuck knows where it came from? You look on the back of the package, it comes from Wyoming. You're like, okay, it came from Wyoming. Are you going to go there and check it out? You're going to call them up and be like, hey, what did you put on the lettuce before you farmed it? Did you spray it with anything? You're not going to do that shit. And they can tell you whatever they want to tell you. You just don't know. Just literally saying, we just don't really know. You don't really know. Oh, so you're a vegan? Grass-fed can bring in slaughterhouses, gross and everything's gross and cruel. Everything's gross and cruel. Everything things die all the time. Things die with vegan. Things die with all that stuff. Nothing's beautiful. Everyone thinks this world is a fucking Disney movie, but things die. It's called the circle of life. There's a freaking hierarchy. There's certain animals like ourselves that are superior to the other ones. You might not want to think we're superior. Okay, you can release your ego, but we're still more advanced, and we have certain needs, and you can't control for what billions of people do. You can control what you do. And if you make certain decisions, that's fine. You do what you do. It is life. No one wants Bambi to die. No one wants Bambi to die or Bambi's mother to die, but she fucking died. She did. That's right. Bambi died. Every time you watch it, still dead. Every time. Gets shot. Double tap to the head. Every time you watch it. I only watch the beginning of Bambi. I wake up, stretch, make my coffee, and I watch the beginning of Bambi, and I go on my day. I'm just kidding. Am I? Maybe that should be the intro. That should be the intro of my show. Mommy? Your mama's dead. Your mama's dead. Anyway, when it comes to actual hunting, eat your kill. Honestly, I don't like the sport hunting bullshit. If you're going to hunt, eat the whole fucking thing, nose to tail. You get it. You eat for a year. Make sure you're not wasting that. That's bullshit. Oh, I just want to kill something. If you're hunting, make sure you're utilizing the animal. Okay. Like the bones for broth, you're eating the liver, you're doing there's a lot of quality food. Do not go out there and just fucking shoot things. Be like, cool, look what I killed. That's food. That's food. That's venison. That's whatever it is. I believe in that. I think you can do that properly. That's why you have to regulate it. That's why you have tags and certain numbers of tags that you can get for a season, because it helps the population not overgrow. It helps it not run into suburban areas. So you're not getting stampedes of buffalo on Main Street, and it keeps the animals safe and regulated and also provides food for people. When you're out hunting a wild animal, you're also not going and buying garbage, poisoned, tortured animals in those CAFOs and those concentrated feedlots. So you're actually doing those animals a favor, because one less person that is buying grain fed or, these, lower quality animal products. Yeah, see, there you go. And yeah, my dad hunts and it all gets eaten. He even uses the hide. Absolutely. Hell yeah. So you use it. And it's not like people are still going to hate it. No, you're killing something. Yeah, but it's like you're not, and you're grateful for it. You're using it for multiple reasons. I've gone hunting and fishing. There are more kangaroos in Australia than people. I've never had kangaroo, but they eat them in Australia, right? I agree with that too. Kiyun's forehead. Most hunters are conservationist, contrary to stupid beliefs by a select few of idiots. Isn't that usually the case? I don't think there's a select few of idiots. I think they're pretty rampant. There are plenty of idiots out there. I am anti-hunting for sport, but if I needed to hunt for food, I could do it cleanly and humanely. I agree with that. I don't think it should be a sport. I don't think you should do it for fun. I mean, it could be fun in terms of like the challenge and like getting back to nature and being like in your essence as a human being. But I don't think you should go and be like, oh, look what we killed and drive away and just leave it to rot. You should, if you're going to kill something, I mean, it won't go to waste. I mean, obviously bacteria and other animals will scavenge it, but a lot of it will just go to waste. Yeah, trophy hunting. But boy, those idiots are loud, right? The chickens are not natty. And I agree with that. You don't want the animals to overpopulate. Someone said 11K. Oh, I appreciate it. I just want to say thank you. I think someone said earlier, and I know we do look at numbers in terms of like social media. We look at channels and we're like, oh, if you have more subscribers, it's like a little victory. It is, but it isn't. But at the same time, I do want to say I appreciate it. We're pretty close. For everyone I want to say thank you to everyone that does watch the podcast and for everyone that does subscribe and has their notifications turned on. And I just want to remind you all that if you want to get notified, you can customize your notifications. So you can turn on all notifications. You could make sure that you get notified every time I go live, because if you don't turn on the notifications, you won't get notified even if you do subscribe. And even if you do hit the bell, it'll only notify you sometimes. So if you're not getting notifications, you need to adjust your settings and tell YouTube that you want to see the notifications all the time. So again, thank you so much for everyone that's subscribing. Thank you. We're at about 11,000. So that's huge. That's great. And we got a lot of people coming over from the main channel, a lot of people finding this organically. And I'll take this moment to give another little sweet, juicy plug. Let me just bring up this account. I don't know if you all know of this channel, or I don't talk about it a lot, but it's there. And it's the Daily Swole Clips channel. So if you're not subscribed, I'm going to pull this up right now. The Daily Swole Clips channel. It is the third channel that I got. I know, got channels on channels on channels. So Daily Swole Clips, and yeah, I got about 500 there. It's kind of it's a little sleeper. We kind of keep it on the DL, but it's in the related channels. But we have a lot of different clips from all the episodes, kind of like a highlight reel. So I recommend checking it out. You can see all these different videos and check it out there at the Daily Swole, or just Daily Swole Clips. So you can see that in the related channels. You can go and subscribe there too to get more Daily Swole action. And if you don't catch the whole podcast all the time, if you don't want to watch the whole thing, you just want to kind of see little highlights, that's where you go. And they're anywhere between like a few minutes to 10, 12 minutes. So whatever the topic is. So check it out. Daily Swole Clips. So we got the Daily Swole, we got Daily Swole Clips, and we have, of course, Swolenormous, I call it the main channel, but Daily Swole is pretty much the main thing. The Swolenormous channel is kind of like a different style. So these are both the main channel. I got to stop referring to it as the main channel. It's just the bigger channel. But the Daily Swole is my fave channel. It's my fave channel. This is my fave shit. Oh, that's right. That's right, Mario. Don't forget to follow Papa Swole at TikTok. That's right. I'll take this opportunity. If you or your children or anyone uses TikTok, at Papa Swolio. And the only reason it's not at Swolenormous is because I got locked out of my fucking account once when TikTok bought Musical.ly, because I was on that app like in 2016, but they fucking locked me out. I can't get back in. Not yet. Maybe eventually it'll get unlocked and then I'll start using it again. But for now, it's at Papa Swolio. And it's really fun. I agree. Yeah, we're popping over there. Pop, lock, and drop it. Pop, lock, and drop it. So what's good? We got any questions? We got anything's going on? Anything else trending? I got some more. Of course, we'll be here tomorrow for 12:30 Hump Day. For right now, those are the main things that I got coming up. Let's see. Daily Swole Clips is great for sharing. I agree. I do understand that sometimes if it's an hour podcast, maybe you don't want to catch all the little banter. It's great live too. But of course, if you can catch a certain segment like today, we'll do like these little news briefings and these little breakdowns. Those are all clips. So it's pretty fire over there. So I highly recommend you going and checking it out. What's up, Caesar? I'm concerned about the deer disease. What is that? CWD? The one that's kind of like mad cow disease, but it's like mad deer disease, something like that. Essentially, like very generically so. I think it's CWD. The one that can spread to humans, but they haven't proved it yet. It's like when like a deer craps like on a plant and it can stay there for like a long fucking time. If another deer comes over and eats it, you'll get it. Yeah, the zombie deer disease, something like that. Oh, that's right. They like charge you, or they just kind of like, they act all weird and they act all out of the ordinary. So that's one way you can tell. Kit Tonic, I'm mad about people in fat acceptance who complain about accessibility. Do you mean like having a bigger seat or a bigger chair at a restaurant? Did I miss the water break? You did. We did one already. Doesn't mean we won't do another one, but maybe not. Trisha Paytas's fat shaming video. What, did she just post a new one? She posts like it's like a fucking compulsion. She just vomits on YouTube. It's a shame. Wasting disease. Yeah, so CWD. Chronic wasting disease. That's what it stands for, right? CWD. Oh, I'm surprised I fucking remember that. Marilyn, okay, so I'm going to be starting yoga. Should I start here at home on a mat before I try doing a class setting? Your thoughts? I recommend, it depends on what you're comfortable with. I would recommend doing a class because if you have an instructor that's knowledgeable, they can help you or you can see what other people are doing. It's good to reference it. You could do both. There's no right or wrong. You definitely don't need a class to practice yoga, but it can definitely help you. It's up to you if you have something available. A lot of people don't have a yoga class or that accessibility near them, so it's not even an option in a lot of cases. I hit 260 on my squat this morning. I weigh 180. Hell yeah. Good for you, dude. Good shit. Baby steps. Caesar, what tips would you give someone starting a YouTube blog series about weight loss? I started one. I feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. Sometimes. Who does? I didn't know what I was doing for a long time. Sometimes I feel like I still don't. No, I do. I do now. I know what I want. It took some time to really kind of get organized with everything, you know. It's still growing. Look, I got a fucking clips channel that's relatively new with a couple hundred subscribers. Like, don't be afraid to start over or try something different. Just tell people your story. You'll get better at editing. You'll get better. I started with my cell phone and an iPad, like an iPad 2 or 3, like a real early old fucking piece of shit iPad that's obsolete now. So I started doing it with that. I started doing it with my cell phone. And certain videos I still do with like my old cell phone just to keep the same kind of quality and same look. But a lot of them, you know, and then once I had different ideas and I started creating an actual business with it and structuring it and creating my products and my fitness program. And then I decided I didn't want just a program. I wanted a community. So then eventually it led to Swolenormous X, which launched. It's almost been, 2019 now? Literally, Swolenormous X has not even been around for 2 years. And it changed dramatically. Huge overhaul in this past year. So it really, for me, inside, it's really only like a year or so old internally. So it's just fucking amazing. The rapid growth and just like the success of it so far and just getting started. So for those of you that are Swolenormous X members, legit, just fucking getting started. The calm before the storm. So Caesar, just keep on doing your thing. Tell your story, share it, just vlog it. The fact that you're doing it is a lot more than what some people are doing. Some people don't even have a fucking channel. Some people are not making any content. Just don't worry about all the details. Just provide value to people that might be looking for help with their weight loss, essentially. And you'll figure out along the way. Just got to keep on doing it. I cannot for the life of me figure out how to do Lewis and Clark in the Swollen 7. Any tips? Watch the video. Yolanda, it demonstrates the exercise. What do you mean you can't figure it out? Post it up in the private group for more detail, because I can't verbally explain it. Because it's like in the Swollen 7 section, it's literally demonstrated. So if you can post up in the private Facebook group, that way you can break down exactly what you mean, like what your actual, because there's context there. Not everyone here knows what you're talking about. I do, of course. But if you post up in the private group, everyone's going to know what you're talking about. And then we can all jump in. Because I'm curious what is holding, like what you mean, because there is like a demonstration of what the move is. So just go into a little more depth in the private group. Yoga classes are expensive because of the white privilege. Oh, go fuck that. Get the fuck out of here. I know you're trolling or just joking because of the white privilege. Get the fuck out of here. I'm assuming you're just joking. Because if you're not, you're just dead wrong, but white privilege. You mean money? You mean go to a gym? A lot of gyms are free. A lot of gyms classes are free. You just go in. Accessibility of larger chairs and lack of space for their bodies is something they can change and play victim. Boop, boop, boo, doo, doo, doo. I just figured out TikTok and I'm driving my teenagers mental. Good shit. Well, everyone's going to be on TikTok in the next year or two. Everyone that thinks it's, oh, it's for kids, it's for children. Get the fuck out of here. You're missing out. Super positive fucking platform. Everyone's going to be on it in like a few months at least. I've watched it a million times and I can't get it. It's switched or something. Yeah, you got to post up because the video, like I cannot give you any verbal guidance rather than like the literal physical video demonstration of it. Like that's what it is. So definitely post up in the group and we'd love to help you. Itchy nose. Our clothing size is getting bigger in the US. Yeah, for sure. I'm wearing shorts right now that are small for the first time since I was like 10. Every time I go out, there are so many obese people. It's becoming the norm. It's the norm. It's more than half people are overweight and obese. Darby, I've been wanting to join Swolenormous X, but I didn't know if there are any pregnancy-safe workouts. Every workout is pregnancy-safe if you modify it. You're going to have to do that on your own. You're going to have to modify and adjust based on your personal needs. I don't create pregnancy-oriented programs. So you just have to adjust based on what you need or what you have to avoid according to your doctor. Scrolling. Good for you, Mackenzie. Awesome. Loretta just got here. Today I got over my fear of the lat pull down. I'm too short to reach the bar, so I have to tippy toe to set up. Mama Swole has to stand up on the seat to grab it. Short girls are awesome. I love short girls. They stand up on the seat. She's like standing up and reaching up to grab the bar and then sitting down. It's like, my God. The good thing is, if I want to hide something, I just put it on the top shelf. I put it on the top shelf, I just kind of push it back like an inch. And I go, I squat down, I look up, I'm like, yeah, she can't see it. Just hide it. And then just put it 6 feet off the ground. Can't see it. What's my workout playlist? I don't have a workout playlist. I just listen to whatever I feel like, or a podcast or something like that. And just listen to something that inspires you. Who cares what I listen to? Who cares? You're going to listen to my music? What if it sucks? What if I'm listening to like smooth jazz or something? Like, fuck this. Whatever gets you fired up. Whatever gets you fired the fuck up. I always think I'm going to create, because I don't really have a playlist. I can't even really create one on Spotify. I thought about it. I started to, but there's like 4 fucking random songs. That's not how I work. I usually find a song that really gets me amped up, and I just hit that on loop for that one workout. So I don't really have a playlist. Because I hate it when the song changes and it changes the whole flow and then it's a shitty song. I have to skip it. I just want fucking droning background noise. That's why I like techno music or something like trance. Not techno, not too hard, but trance music because it's very background zone trippy, like it's background like beat, so it keeps you fucking amped, but it's like really low. You can zone it out. It's nothing you have to listen to. It's nothing that changes. It goes up and down. And metal, it's like I don't want to fucking. Not always. I just don't want. I one song, something that's good, and then just fucking repeat. Give me my workout in. Give me my workout. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me, baby. Bam, bam. Rave music. Boom, 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 boom. Making gains. It's arm day, fam. Let's fucking get it. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me for episode 1229 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gaincast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Make sure you hit the bell, subscribe, turn on your notifications so YouTube notifies you all the time that Daddy goes live, and go check out the latest drop on the other channel, Swolenormous, for the new Nuts on Chin. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow for 12:30. Peace, McGee's fam. Deuce Magoose, ya boy, Papa Swole, out.